Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. We are back again with our lecture number 26, in which we are going to thoroughly discuss that how to make a presentation. Now we will thoroughly discuss the whole process of making the presentations, that how to actually plan for the presentation, then how to actually prepare your presentation, and then how to deliver your presentation. So to begin with, let's quickly recap that what we have done in our previous lecture so far. First of all, we discussed in our previous lecture that how what are the actual purposes of presentations, and we thoroughly discussed that what exactly is a presentation. Remember, presentation is not anything that is innate or that you already know of. Presentation is something that you learn with the passage of time, and that's something that you develop with the passage of time. So this is kind of a skill, that's a learned ability that you have to practice and to become one good expert presenter. So you are in a process of making yourself experts in this field. So let's make sure that you learn everything, every knowledge, every single aspect of making, preparing, and then delivering the presentation in front of the group of audience whom you want to convey your message to. Now moving on to the recap of the previous lecture, we thoroughly discussed the different types of presentations which are there, or which can be adopted, or which can be taken as one type to be presented in front of the audience. Now these types are dependent on the situations. Educational scenario is somewhat different from the practical scenario, where you have to see people and where you have to prove your point of view to them. However, educational scenario is somewhat different, where you are giving the presentation to secure good marks. Now that educational scenario basically is preparing yourself for your practical life. So remember, whatsoever marks you achieve in your presentation skills is going to give you the guarantee that you are going to secure good marks in your life as well. So we also discussed some of the presentation types in our previous lecture. Remember, another key point to remember regarding to our course of essay writing and presentation, that there is a 15% weightage being given to your presentation skills that would involve your cycle 1, cycle 2, and your final project. So make sure that you are going to stick to all those rules that I am telling you about making one good presentation. So there are different types that we have discussed. Solo presentations, which are usually the individual presentations related to your academic scenario. Then your group presentations, where you and your peers and your friends and your group members get up together to present any topic in front of the audience. Then you have informative, demonstrative, business, persuasive, and inspirational kind of presentations. The different types of presentations, any one of them can be taken, or maybe 2 or 3 of them can be merged to deliver a good quality presentation in front of the audience. Then how you can make a presentation, what kind of a presentation, and how you can make that kind of a presentation that people will love. This is also that we have discussed in the previous lecture, along with the example of the Steve Jobs. Remember, I have shown you one good video of one of the renowned presenters in the world of Steve Jobs, the one who proved himself to be the inspirational, demonstrative, motivational, informative, and the business type of a presenter. So this is how, or these are the things, a few things which we have learned in our previous lecture. Coming back to today's lecture, remember I told you that we are going to discuss, and we are going to thoroughly go into the details of the process, that how you can actually make, create, and then deliver the presentation in front of the audience. So if you recall your memory, in the previous lectures that was related to presentation skills, in which I was introducing that what presentation skills are. I introduced you thoroughly that how a presentation is follows a certain step. There is a proper process that is to be followed. The way we have a proper process for making or for writing, as we have thoroughly discussed in our essay writing skills, that you have to follow one particular process for making one good or writing one good essay, that is pre-writing, writing and rewriting. Same goes with your presentation skills. You are supposed to stick to 3 major steps which are to be kept in mind while you plan to make your presentation, while you prepare for it and while you deliver it. So moving on to the next slide and see that how this plan is divided into 3 parts. The first part is the creation, in which you create the presentation and you look for everything that comes before you actually prepare for, or before you actually create one presentation. Then you need to prepare for the presentation. How do you prepare? Definitely you will make slides and you will prepare your personal self for the presentation, and in the end you would deliver the presentation. That is the last step, that is presentation delivery. So these are the 3 steps that we are going to discuss while we discuss thoroughly the presentation process, that how to actually deliver the presentation and how to actually make the presentation for your audience. So to move on with, let's discuss that what the creation step of your presentation involves. Now there are a few things which tend to be overlooked by many, but they are crucial and they are supposed to be kept in mind. First thing, that you select a topic for your presentation, any topic that suits you. Maybe you select a topic on your own, or maybe your teacher assigns you one topic to be presented in front of the audience. So what do? You select, first of all, you select a topic. Secondly, you setting clear objectives and clear goals. Now you see, you are in a process of making your presentation because you want to deliver it. So once you are preparing, or once you are planning for your presentation, remember, once you are trying to create your presentation, after that you have selected your topic, you are supposed to make sure that you set forth the clear objectives and specific goals for your presentation. Now you see, if you remember the essay writing skills that we have discussed thoroughly in our previous lectures, you remember that we were used to select one thesis statement or one question statement for your whole essay. Now same goes with your presentation. You are supposed to set some goals, you are supposed to set some objectives, you are supposed to set some learning outcomes that you would expect to be received from the audience while you finish your presentation. So these are a few things that you are supposed to keep in mind. Conducting research. Now that you have selected your topic for your presentation, or maybe you were assigned one by your teacher, you are supposed to conduct a proper research on that. Research, in other words, means that you are going to gather material related to the topic that you have been assigned by your tutor. Now while you are gathering your material, make sure that you are going to keep the proper citations and proper references for them, as to make sure that you are not going to digress, or you are not going to divert from your main goal. Then you do your audience analysis. Your audience should be kept in mind while you are preparing for your presentation to be delivered in front of them. Then creating an outline. Now see, the brainstorming technique of creating an outline is really one useful tool once you talk about planning, or pre-writing stage, or the before actually you start preparing for your presentation. So in the first stage, you usually first of all select the topic, set your goals, because you know your audience, and because you want to take them somewhere to drag them or to convince them to your point of view. Then while planning for your presentation, you are supposed to keep in mind that which tool or which medium you will use for presentation. Any type of presentation is acceptable, either it's on the PowerPoint or the overhead projector, or it's been presented in the form of flip charts or charts to be displayed, or anything. So you are supposed to make sure that you are going to use the Microsoft Microsoft PowerPoint while you are to deliver one practical kind of presentation, because PowerPoint tool is that one modern tool which will help you jot down each and every element in your presentation that is to be delivered in front of the audience. And you will get varieties of designs in the PowerPoint, Microsoft PowerPoint presentations, so that you don't have to worry about the layout of your presentation. Then what kind of a content you would insert in your presentation? Once you have conducted a research on the topic that you were assigned to make one presentation on, while you are planning for your presentation, try to make sure that you make an outline, and based on that outline you insert the material, or you insert the content, or you decide about the content to be inserted in your presentation. Now we will also, in our upcoming lectures, we will also discuss that how to make it sure that what kind of a content you will insert in your presentation using appropriate media. So the appropriate media can be Microsoft PowerPoint, that can be projected on multimedia, so that is easily accessible and easy to handle. So opt for that. Prepare additional material if you feel that there is energy or energy crisis or electricity issue in your country, so prepare well in hand and prepare for the backup plan. Then confirm to everything that you have planned for your presentation while you had been trying to create one, so that you are now you are in a stage of that you have already selected the topic for your presentation, you have already set off some goals for your presentation, and then you have based on those goals you have decided that what kind of a research you are supposed to conduct, and then once you have gathered a lot of material, you are supposed to outline that material, and based on that outline you are going to develop the content of for your presentation. In the meanwhile, also select the media that you are going to use for your medium that you are going to use for your presentation, either that be PowerPoint or flip charts. Remember, the modern technique of using the Microsoft PowerPoint is the best tool for making your presentations. That one we are going to also practice today. Now that you are done with gathering the material, and you are done with how to select the content for your presentation, the next step is basically to put that on the Microsoft PowerPoint slides. For that, I'll tell you how to do that in the upcoming slides, that how to use a Microsoft Office, Microsoft PowerPoint 2010. Now that you are in a second stage of preparing for your presentation, now you are preparing your slides as well as yourself for the presentation. Now once you are looking forward to preparing yourself, your personal self, try to make sure that you do a lot of rehearsals. Now this rehearsal has something to do with rehearsing so many times in front of the mirror, or rehearsing about the material or the content that is to be presented in front of the audience. Sleep well before the occasion, before the presentation. Have a sound sleep one night before, so that you can look fresh to your audience, and you can everything is fresh in your mind while you are there to present on the stage. Then dress up for the occasion. Now if you are a guy, you should wear a 3-piece suit with a very nice tie. Also look for the color combinations, that what color combinations you look good in, as they should match with your personality. And if you are a girl, try to make sure that you should look decent and presentable for your audience. Then arrive early on where you are supposed to present, the venue where you are supposed to present, you are supposed to arrive a bit early for your presentation. Now moving on to the next slide and talking about that how exactly you are supposed to prepare or make your PowerPoint presentation slides. Now select for any theme that you want to create, on which you want to create your presentation, and then insert the related content that you have gathered in your outline that you have made for your presentation of the audience. Now this is one stage that we are going to thoroughly discuss, because I believe that most of you want to know that how to make one good PowerPoint presentation while using the Microsoft version 2010. Now, the next stage that you are supposed to stick to is presenting effectively. That has something to do with your delivery of your presentation. At the beginning of the presentation, introduce yourself, title of your presentation, and background of your presentation if necessary. So there are a few things that you are supposed to keep in mind while you actually are standing on the stage to deliver presentation in front of the audience. So remember that you are going to start with yourself, that I am Adira Nausheen going to present on this topic, and if necessary, tell them about the background, that why are you there, or what exactly is the background of your topic which you are presenting in front of them. Setting the theme, involve the audience. Now, how you can involve the audience? By maybe by telling them a short story that is related to your topic, maybe asking them questions, or maybe asking them, do you know about this topic? And they would start automatically get involved in your conversation. So try to mingle with them, try to involve them as you begin your presentation. This is the best tool so that they can give their feedback, that if they know or if they don't know about the topic that you are about to present on. Then explain the ground rules. Now, talking about the ground rules, tell them if you want them to remember something while you are delivering the presentation on the stage. Another thing is that tell them clearly if you want them to keep their questions and answers for the end of the session. So these are some ground rules and many others which you believe you are supposed to tell them before you actually begin your presentation. Specify agenda and outline. Now, before you actually make your slides or create your slides of PowerPoint, I'll tell you that how to create one agenda that will thoroughly tell them that what is the objective of your presentation and what things you are going to discuss in your presentation thoroughly. Then another point that you are supposed to keep in mind is to use the PowerPoint slides as a guide. Now, there are PowerPoint slides on your back which you are using as a guide to present in front of the audience. Now, there are some techniques that we have already discussed in our previous lecture, where we talked about the do's and don'ts of what you are supposed to do with your PowerPoint slides and what you are not supposed to do with your slides. To make sure and to give you a little recap, we talked about what kind of a font you are supposed to use, what kind of themes you are supposed to use, what kind of colors for emphasis, what things you are supposed to make, what text length you can insert in one slide, and so on and so forth. So remember, 1/3 of the portion of your slide should be empty, as to make sure that your audience can read it clearly. Then involve your audience, take their attention, and just hook with them, so that they can hook them up into your presentation, so that they are going to listen to you carefully. Start presentation on time, whatsoever time. Maybe if you were asked to start your presentation at 9 a.m. in the morning, you should start your presentation at 9 a.m. in the morning. So be there 5 minutes before, or maybe some time before, or try to arrive early, so that you can check on the equipment and other things which are there. Have confidence and look confident once you come prepared and you come fresh, because you had a proper sleep and you had a proper nap before you actually started your presentation. So try to look confident, and your eye contact should be the best one with the audience, because your eye contact tells them that how interested you are to tell them about the particular subject on which you are going to present on. So these were the 3 steps that we were discussing about our presentation, that how to actually first of all prepare for your presentation, that how to actually create one, and then how to deliver that in front of the audience. So this is what we are going to discuss thoroughly in today's lecture, and there are some thumb rules that you are supposed to remember while you actually practice these things for your convenience. Now moving on to the next slide, let's first of all talk about that how to create PowerPoint presentation. To do so, let's try to visit some of the things that you are supposed to keep in mind to create one good PowerPoint presentation for your audience. The first thing that you are supposed to remember is while you are creating your presentation is to minimize the number of slides. Now, how do you minimize your number of slides? To maintain a clear message and to keep your audience attentive and interested, keep the number of slides in your presentation to the minimum. Now, the number of the size should be the minimum, or should be there should be a very few slides for your audience, where you have a margin to talk to your audience instead of reading from the slides. So this is one technique that you are supposed to remember while you plan for creating your presentation. The second thing that you are supposed to remember is to choose a font style that your audience can read from a distance. As we have already discussed thoroughly in details in your previous lecture that was related to do's and don'ts of your presentation, we have thoroughly discussed that what a font style or what font size you are supposed to use that is readable by your audience from the distance. So we asked you to stick to sans serif like Arial, Calibri, and these kind of fonts which don't have the fancy edges, so that your audience can read them from the distance. We also mentioned that the best ideal size for your headings is around 36 to 40, and the size for your subheadings or for your text is usually more than 24 points. It should not be less than 24 points, because then it becomes unreadable for your audience. Now coming back to your point, choosing the right font style such as Arial helps your message across, and avoid narrow fonts such as Arial Narrow, and avoid fonts that includes fancy edges like Times New Roman. So you are going to avoid these kind of fonts which are going to be problematic for your audience. Now, the third point that you are supposed to keep in mind is to keep your text simple by using bullet points or short sentences. Now, if you see this slide is so much jumbled up with a lot of text where almost reader cannot read from the distance. But as this slide was made intentionally to make sure that how do you learn about making less bullets and making the shorter sentences into your slide will help you make good and better and readable slides by your audience. Use bullets or short sentences and try to keep each to one line, that is without text wrapping. You want your audience to listen to you present your information rather than read the screen. Some projectors crop slides at the edges, so long sentences may be cropped. You can remove articles such as and the to help the word count on a line. So there are a few things that will help you reduce the word limit on your line. Try not to write the longer sentences, as your screen is very large and maybe your text can be cropped from two sides once it appears on the multimedia. And try to use bulleted and short sentences in your on your slides, so that they are readable by your audience, as well as you have that margin of explaining each and every point in front of the audience on your own. Now, the next point that you are supposed to remember is to use the art to help convey your message. Now, the art of graphics to help tell your story. Some visuals can also be used while you are creating your presentation for your audience. Don't overwhelm your audience by adding too many graphics to one slide. As we have already discussed in our previous lecture as well, that a lot of texts on one slide are going to confuse your reader, and they are not going to be very, very helpful for your reader, because if there are a lot of graphics on one slide, your audience will get lost in interpreting them, or trying to get that message that those pictures deliver, and they will not listen to you thoroughly as you are talking to them and you are trying to explain that thing to them in your own words. Now, the fifth thing to remember is to make labels for charts. Now the next thing to remember is to make labels for charts and graphs understandable. Use only enough text to make label elements in a chart or graph comprehensible. So you are going to make them comprehensible by the audiences by labeling them properly, so that if the audience do not understand, if you have inserted any visual on your slide and the audience is unable to understand that, and the audience is unable to interpret that, then your visual will go in vain. So I hope that you are not going to do that. Stick to whatever I am telling you, because that is more important, and you are supposed to do and repeat everything while you are making your presentations. Now, sixth point is to make slide backgrounds subtle and keep them consistent. Now, how you can keep them consistent? This is what we have thoroughly discussed in the previous lecture as well, where we were discussing the do's and don'ts for making one good presentation. I have to repeat things because to make sure that you learn that what things you are supposed to keep in mind while creating your presentation. Choose an appealing, consistent template or theme that is not too eye-catching. Now, the darker backgrounds or the backgrounds with complex backgrounds usually distract the attention of your audience. They visually distract your audience, and your audience is actually unable to read the text that is there on the slide. So your text is more important, not the background which you are using for your slide. Maybe your background is relevant. Maybe if there is a logo of your company, maybe if there is some kind of picture that is attached or that is linked to your company, that should fall in the background, like a watermark kind of a thing, so that the original text on the forehead is visible for everyone to see. So moving on to the next slide, and let's try to understand point number 7 that you are supposed to keep in mind while creating your PowerPoint presentation. Now, use high contrast between background color and text color. As we discussed, that if you have lighter text, then try to use the darker background, and if you have the darker text, try to use the lighter background. So in this way, you can make your presentations look different from the others. Also, check for spelling and grammar while you are creating your presentation. To earn and maintain the respect of your audience, always check the spelling and grammar in your presentation. So the audience will respect you if everything on your slide is accurate, written grammatically, and there are no errors in them. If they find any error, they would think of you that you are a careless person and you did not pay your full responsibility while you were making this presentation. Now that we are done with that, how to create one presentation, now let's see that how you can make a PowerPoint presentation on the theme or template method for PC Office 2010. So we are going to particularly stick to the Microsoft Office by PowerPoint 2010, where I will teach you that how to actually make one PowerPoint presentation on Microsoft Office 2010. So to begin with, let's see that let's first of all quickly talk about the Microsoft PowerPoint in detail. Now, how this modern tool of Microsoft PowerPoint can be helpful and can be beneficial for you. Let's see that what are its functions and what are its uses. It's a versatile presentation tool, first of all, which is somewhat different from other mediums like flip charts, like this overhead projector. Sometimes you have to make use of bringing in the model and so on and so forth. So these kind of things are old and they are not as powerful as the Microsoft presentation is, because in a very short time you can create very good presentations on Microsoft PowerPoint easily. Then there are predefined presentation formats which you can pick up and which you can adopt to make your presentation look different and look cool for your audience. Then there are variety of layouts and there are variety of views that you can pick one up to make to insert your text in. Once that you have selected your text by putting or by some effort by researching from it library and internet, you can simply put your text in the different layouts and different it can has different kind of views. The ability to edit and modify, it has this ability of editing and modification like other softwares which do not have this quality of undoing things. This Microsoft PowerPoint tells you that how to undo different things while you if you have made something wrong in your presentation. Then it can also create different kinds of text. It has this option of making the charts and graphics. Then it incorporates clip art, images, audio and video, and other so many features that you want to insert and that you want to add in your PowerPoint presentation on your own. Then it creates special effects and slide transitions. So there are some animations in your presentation through which your content will come like something different, and it will appear like fade out, fade in, come in slightly, and so on and so forth. So there are a lot of animations that can be used for making one good Microsoft PowerPoint presentation. So to begin with, let's see what I have to tell you for making one good Microsoft PowerPoint presentation on Office 2010. Now, number 1 point is to open the PowerPoint. Now you would double click on the icon of the PowerPoint and you would see you will see a blank screen with 2 boxes in the middle screen. One box says click to add title, the other says click to add subtitle. Now this is your title, which I told you should be between 36 to 40 fonts. Now let's try to write it with the help of the pointer. That should be between 36 to 40 points. And here this is your subtitle, that should be or your text, that should be of 24 points. So try to make sure that your title has to come in bold. That would be automatically bold, and that can be also written in caps, that can also be capitalized. Now your subtitle will be kind of explanation in one sentence or maybe in one phrase of what your title is related to. Maybe here, if you want to add subtitle, you can also write down the date when you are presenting. You can also tell your name to your audience or anything that you feel interesting to make sure that your audience is going to learn from your slides. So that is your point number 1, that you are going to click on the blank screen. You are going to click first of all on the PowerPoint, and then you will see this kind of a blank screen where you can insert your title and then your subtitle of your presentation. Now next step says that on the tab at the upper left side of your screen, hit the file tab. Now this is the file tab where you are supposed to click, right? And once you are the screen display would look like this one. You would have these clipboard and these shorter versions of your slides, which you can see that if there are number of slides, 1, 2, 3 and so on, and you would see your original slide here. This is your original slide that you can see on one side, and these are the lists of other slides which you can see on the left hand side. Now this is your file where you are supposed to click for picking up the new file for your PowerPoint presentation. So this next step is to click on the file tab for picking up your presentation. Now once that you have clicked on the new, here was the new tab where you have clicked to see that what do you get next. On the vertical toolbar to the left, hit the new tab and you would see these kind of details, right? Now once that you have clicked on new, you would find again this new option, and then you are going to click on that. Now that you have clicked on the new tab, let's move on, and if you wish to use a template, click on the simple templates box. Now here you would see this design option, where you would find these simple templates out of which you can pick up to use one for your PowerPoint presentation. Now click on the template you want to use. Now once you are going to click on the designs, there would be a lot of designs that would appear in front of you. Click on the template that you want to use depending on the purpose of your presentation. So if your presentation is a business-like, try to pick up those kinds of themes like this, which are readable or which are easy for you to which are easy for the audience to read in the darker rooms, because for the business presentation usually the rooms and the meeting rooms are usually dark. And if you are giving a classroom presentation, or if you are giving a quiz show, if you are kind of telling them rules, so all of the templates will also brief them with the somewhat explanation in them, so that would be easy for you to choose what kind of presentation you want to use for your presentation. So this is how, once you will click this outline the theme of your presentation will be highlighted easily, so that you can select that for your for making your presentation. Now once that you have used or you have selected the template, if you wish to use a theme, now theme is something different. Click on the themes box in the new tab. Now in the new tab you have this option. Once you would click on the new tab on your left hand side, you would get this option of themes. Now that you are going to click on that, you can get good themes for your presentation. Now click on this specific template or theme you want to work with from the list of the choices. Now once you are going to click on the themes, there would be the varieties of themes that would come in front of you, like this one, like this one. These are a lot of different themes that can be used for making or creating one good presentation. So that we are learning that how to use Microsoft PowerPoint, or how to use how to make use of Microsoft PowerPoint 2010. Learn that how you have this option of choosing different themes and selecting different themes for your presentation. You don't have to worry about the color scheme. You don't have to worry about the font of your presentation, because the font of the presentation and color scheme is consistent throughout once you pick up any template or you pick up any theme for your presentation. Once your theme is loaded, click on the click to add title and click to add subtitle boxes, and add the title and subtitle if necessary of your presentation. Now that you have selected the theme for your presentation, your theme would automatically appear in front of you. This is your theme. Any other theme that you like, but that should depend on the purpose of your presentation. You are going to click on adding title here, and then you are going to click on adding the subtitle here. So this is how you can add the title and subtitle of your presentation on your first slide. After deciding on the title, like you can very well see that it's written that how to create a presentation using PowerPoint. Now this is a WikiHow guide. This is the subtitle, and this is the major title of your presentation. While you have written down your title and subtitle of your presentation, click on new side button on the slides tab up top. Now this is the new slide. Once you are going to click on that, a lot of slides would appear in this bar, right? Like 2, 3, as many as you want. You can select them, and then you can pick up one to insert your text, and then you can move on with your presentation further. Now you can see here that what I was trying to tell you, that how these slides are being displayed on one side. So you have picked up one new slide where you are going to continue adding information and pictures as you wish. So this is how you are going to insert the text, and maybe you can, if you are interested, you can also insert the pictures in your presentation easily. Once you are finished with your presentation, go to File, Save As, and save your file so that you can retrieve it later. Now you are going to save, click on the Save button option, and then you are going to save your file with the name that is most preferable for you, that is related to your presentation, the short one which you can easily remember that, and then you can find it out in your system. And then another technique of doing is to press Ctrl plus S. So you would press Ctrl key along with S key to save your presentation and to name it something and to save it in your system. When you want to view your presentation as a series of slides, click on the slideshow. Or sometimes people they prefer pressing F5 and the PowerPoint display, as you can see the full slide version in front of you also. The full slide display also comes and appears in front of you. Then click on from beginning or top left, or if you want to start from the same slide where you are working, you can click on the same slide, and then you can click on the slideshow where you can easily do that. Now that was all about how to create one presentation. Moving back, if you see, there are some options like hide slide, setup slideshow, rehearse times, recording slideshow, play narrations, use timing, show media controls, and then there are animations, then there are designs, you have inserting options, and so on and so forth. So these things are there once you want to practice on making your good presentations on PowerPoint. Now this is one best tool that you can use for making one PowerPoint presentation in Office 2010. Use as many animations as you can. Maybe if you want to hide any slide from your audience, you can do it on your own. You have this option of rehearsing timings, as I've told you in the previous lecture. You can click on that, and once you are done with your presentation, and once you want to actually deliver that presentation in front of the audience, we say that you are supposed to rehearse again. Now if you click on this button and you sit or you stand right in front of your computer, and you try to rehearse it before you actually begin your presentation, so it will allow you to check timings for your presentation, that how much time you have taken on every slide, because most of the presentation are or they give you one target line of the time in which you are supposed to deliver your presentation in front of the audience. So this is one way that how you can make one PowerPoint presentation on Microsoft Office 2010. Now that we are done with all the techniques of how to create presentation and then how to plan your presentation, let's move on to the third step, that is how to deliver the presentation. Now once that you have made your slides, once that you have selected the content for your presentation, once that you have prepared your personal self for the presentation, now let's see that what are the things that you are supposed to do to deliver your presentations effectively in front of the audience. To begin with, the first point that you are supposed to remember is to show up early and verify that your equipment works properly. Now this early arrival of yours is going to be very, very beneficial once you want to make your presentation the best of all. If you will come running, and if you are already late and you did not get time to see the scenario around, and you did not get the time to mingle with people, you did not get time to see or check on your equipment, and the place is stranger to you, and you cannot concentrate on what you are supposed to deliver, so that will not come out as a good presentation of yours. Make sure that all equipment is connected and running. So if you come early, that is going to give you one benefit, that you can check on the equipment, or if the equipment is not working well, or if you are not familiar with the equipment, maybe the equipment is new, you can learn from those people, the support staff who is there to guide you towards that how to use this equipment easily. So this is the number one step that you are supposed to take once you actually plan for the delivery of presentation. Don't assume that your presentation will work fine on another computer. Now computers are just machines. You are supposed to keep in mind that there can be disk failures, there can be software version mismatches, lack of disk space, low memory, and many other factors that can ruin your presentation. Now sometimes Microsoft Office PowerPoint 2007 cannot be mashed up with Microsoft Office 2010 because both of them, they are different versions, and if you have your presentation made in 2007 and the place where you go, they have that version of 2010, so what to do? You are there on the last minute and they are telling you that the equipment does not matches with what you have in your mind. So there can be software version mismatches, so try to make sure that you arrive early as to solve these kind of mistakes. If you arrive early, you would be in a better position to tell them to download one Microsoft 2007 for you. If the computer that you plan to give your presentation on does not belong to you, make sure that it has adequate disk space so that you don't have to present from a CD. So try to make sure that the computer on which you are supposed to present, because during the presentations a lot of presenters are supposed to come and they give their material to the concerned people who are organizing the event, and if that is an other computer that is not your personal computer, try to make sure that there is enough space in that. Maybe you are adding, or you have the ample, or you have so many videos to be shown to your audience, so your file will become very heavy, and if the disk space in the other computer does not carry the major space, that can be a problem for you. So try to make sure that you should work on the other computer by arriving early, so that you can get know what is its function, then how you are going to deliver your presentation. The third step that you are supposed to keep in mind is to verify that projector's resolution is the same as the computer on which you created your presentation. If the resolutions don't match, your slides may be cropped or other display problems can occur. Now these resolutions on your computer are very important once we talk about making good presentations, because if the resolution is between these margins, let's say if it's like this, and if the multimedia screen is showing this much resolution of maybe 2 inches from each side, so this text coming from these sides will be all cropped, and you would be only able to see the screen in the middle. Now if this version is being cropped, then how are you going to relate your sentences, or how are you going to deliver your presentation in front of your audience? So try to make sure that once you are going to deliver the presentation, you are going to check on the screen resolution of the other computer, and if there is any problem, try to adjust your slides quickly. Now turn your screensaver off. Now that's a common habit of some of the people, especially those who use the laptops. You are supposed to make sure that you are going to turn off the screensavers, because you are so much busy, you will be so much busy in presenting and speaking extempore and conveying your point of view to your audience by not even touching on your computer, by not even looking at the slides. And if the screensaver is on, maybe for 4 minutes or maybe for 3 minutes, stay, so that is going to not work well. Keep your audience focused on the content of your presentation. Don't make them look towards different bubbles that appear as your screensaver of your presentation. Check all colors on a projection screen before giving the actual presentation. So you are going to work on all the colors that are to be projected on the screen. Once go beforehand, check, try to see before you actually deliver your presentation. Try to see that how the room looks like, what is the seating arrangement. If that's a darker room, try to make sure that your slides are lighter in color, and if that's the brighter room, try to make sure that your slides are darker in the background. So it depends on the situation, and you are going to select the colors accordingly for your PowerPoint presentation. Now the next thing that you are supposed to keep in mind is to ask your audience to hold questions until the end. Once you were telling them these ground rules, try to make sure that you tell them quickly, or you tell them in the beginning that they are supposed to hold their questions for the end, because once you are presenting, there are a lot of thoughts which are coming in the mind. You want to speak as much as you can, but there are people sitting in the audience who have questions and they want to pinpoint you on a very particular point when there was an excellent thought coming in your mind. So try to make sure that you tell them in the beginning that they should hide, or they should hold their questions for the end. Questions are an excellent indicator that people are engaged by your subject matter and presentation skills. So if you ask them to keep their questions for the end, that is going to engage them to your presentation till the end of your last word. But if you save questions until the end of presentation, you will get through your material uninterrupted. So this is going to give you one opportunity of getting uninterrupted. Also, early questions are often answered by ensuing slides and commentary. So sometimes if your message is not complete and the questions are being asked in the middle, maybe you can digress from your point of view, as well as you can answer something wrong to your audience. Now moving on to your point number 7, avoid moving the pointer unconsciously. Now there are some laser pointers which are available that you can click on, and then you can click on the slide to make your audience see that you are focusing on this point. So if your laser light is on and you are continuously pointing towards your slide, that is going to divert the attention of your audience, because they are going to look at the pointer and they are going to go nowhere. So this unconscious behavior of yours should be avoided, and try to behave normal and conscious. When you are not using the pointer, remove your hand from the mouse. Sometimes you make use of the mouse to use this pointer or this arrow. Let me show you that. So if you pick up this arrow and you keep on moving it like this is not going to give a good impression to your reader, to your audience. Now, when you are not using any pointer, remove your hand either from the laser pointer that you are using, or remove your hand from the mouse through which you are handling your presentation. This helps to stop you from moving the pointer unconsciously, which can be distracting. So as to avoid the distraction of your audience, try to make sure that you are going to behave normal. Do not read the presentation. Now, once you are delivering your presentation, try to make sure that you are not going to read from your presentation. Practice the presentation, rehearse it well, so that you can speak from the bullet points. Now, as many bullets as you would make, 1, 2, 3, 4, the shorter ones, you would have margin of explaining each one of them in detail. The text should be a cue for the presenter rather than a full message for the audience. So there should not be the sentence approach being used in your presentation. However, you can use the topic, making topic outline of your presentation by inserting bullets which carry phrases or sometimes words that need the proper explanation for your audience. The audience will stick to only words or phrases which are written on the slide, rather than reading out from the slide and not listening to you. Now, stay on time. Your time management is really very important when you talk about delivering your presentations. Now, if you plan a certain amount of time for your presentation, do not go over. If there is no time limit, take less time rather than more to ensure that people stay engaged. Now, time management is really important. Try to begin your presentation on time and try to end your presentation on time. If you are going to open your forum or open your platform late from the supposed time on which you were supposed to actually begin your presentation, that is not going to go anywhere. Now another thing, monitor your audience's behavior while you are delivering your presentation. Remember, you have started or you have begun with your presentation. You begin with your presentation by first of all introducing yourself, then by introducing the topic, and if required you are going to introduce that what you are going to discuss in your topic. Each time that you deliver a presentation, monitor your audience's behavior. Your audience behavior is really important while you are telling them every new point or while you are telling them every new thing. If you observe people focusing on your slides, the slides can contain too much data or be confusing or distracting in some other way. So try to make sure that you observe your audiences properly, because if they are looking so much on your slides rather than listening to you, so it can give you one impression that your slides are so much occupied with, or they contain too much text which audience are busy reading and they are not listening to you. Use the information you learn each time to improve your future presentations. So try to use every information that you receive from your audience by actually monitoring your audience, and use that information in the future. Your audience eyes, your audience non-verbal behavior is going to tell you clearly that what are the flaws that you have made in your presentation and which things you are supposed to keep in mind for the next upcoming presentations. Now that we are done with the process of making our presentation, and we have learned that how to make one good PowerPoint presentation, and I hope that you can practice one very easily now. So to give you a recap of what we have done today in our today's lecture, the first thing that we discussed, that it was that your presentation usually has 3 stages. Now let me write it down for you. It has got 3 stages. The first one is planning, in which you plan yourself for the presentation, as well as you plan or gather the material for your presentation. So this is what you call the planning stage. Your second stage is creating the presentation. And now while creating your presentation, you are supposed to make use of Microsoft PowerPoint Office 2010, which I have taught you to do thoroughly. And the third thing that we have discussed is the delivery of your presentation, where we have discussed so many points which you are supposed to stick to while you are delivering your presentation in front of the audience. So let's practice making one now. I hope that you have learned a lot from today's lecture, and I hope that you have learned that how to make one good presentation for your audience. So let's practice making one now. Now you are supposed to click on this start button here, and then you are supposed to pick up Microsoft PowerPoint. Now this computer carries Microsoft PowerPoint 2007. Now let's click on that. And here, as I told you earlier, that how the screen will appear in front of you, which will carry your title of your presentation and then your subtitle of your presentation. So if you are telling your audience, let's select the title. What are presentation skills? So this is the major title of your presentation, which we are going to bold from here. You can see the arrow very well. I hope you can see the arrow on the screen. Then you are supposed to add the subtitle. Maybe you want to write your name, or maybe you want to write on the details of what you are going to talk, or how you are going to what subcategory you are going to discuss in your presentation skills. The subcategory we are going to discuss is communication skills. Now that we have selected the title and subtitle of our presentation, let's click on to the new slide. and there would be a lot of templates, and there would be a lot of styles of which you want to select a slide on. There is one option with title and content. There is one option with section header, title only, comparison. Maybe if you are drawing the comparison of two things, if you are writing down comparison and contrast essay, you can pick up that. Two contents, blank, content with caption, and picture with caption. So anyone that you want to select, I want to select title and content right now. So here you go, your slide will appear right in front of you. Now if you see, you have this table inserting option there, you have this inserting chart option there, you have this inserting smart art graphics there, inserting media clips like videos, you have you have an option of inserting the clip art where you would get a lot of animated things, and then you would have you have another option of insert picture from the file. So these are some options which can be taken for inserting anything that you want to insert, and let's practice one by them, each one of them one by one. Now you would add your click title. What is your subtitle is communication skills. Now click to add title. Now you are going to work in the bullets, and each slide would not carry more than 8 bullets, and would not carry and each bullet will not carry more than 8 words per line. So we will talk about verbal communication. Now see how the Microsoft PowerPoint Office is so friendly that it gives you an option of these bullets, these font styles. Now see, if we click on it, this is 44, and if we click on this, this is 32. So how friendly it is, and it tells you that how you are supposed to keep your presentation alike throughout. Verbal communication, non-verbal communication, and then paraverbal communication. So this is how you try to make one presentation based on different lines on which you are supposed to work while you actually plan for making one good presentation. And this is how you move on. Again, click on the new slide. Here you can insert, or you can work on the columns. Select for the column that you want to insert. For example, I want a column where I want to insert 5 columns and 5 rows. So my column would look like this. Okay, and there are so many options, out of which I can select the color of my column, and I can insert it there. Right now, moving on to the next slide, and let's try to see what next we are supposed to do. Now if I click on insert chart, there are varieties of charts which I can pick up, like a pie chart. Now let's write down that what is the communication frequency. Pie graph, okay. Now let's click on OK button, and let's see that how exactly it will appear. Now it will appear like this, this is the rough format that we are supposed to see while creating one good Microsoft Office PowerPoint. Now this is your graph. Again, moving on to the new slide, you can use these kind of smart art graphics where you have margin of writing down the flow charts, the flow diagrams, and so on. So they provide you with the hierarchy versions like this. So let's pick up one, and let's try to see that how it looks like. So it would look like this, and you can click on the text, and you can insert in whatever you want to insert. Then another thing, you can insert the video clips. Right now we don't have any video clip to be inserted in our presentation. You can do it on your own very easily. Then you have the clip art option, where you will get a lot of animations, selected collections, maybe my collections. If you would click on my collections, you would see that how many favorites and how many other things can be seen in there. Right now the internet connection is not working, so we cannot work on them also. Now if there are sample pictures that you want to insert in your presentation, you can do that also. So this is how you can insert different pictures, you can insert different kind of text, graphics, these tree charts, and you can also insert these kind of tables in your presentation. So see, Microsoft Office is so friendly that allows you to, even starting from the content till revealing any kind of image that you want to show. Now if you click on the animation button that I am clicking on, you would see different kind of animations that can be seen. Now see, I am clicking on fade smoothly. Now I am clicking on fade through back. It is cut. This one is cut through black. This one is dissolve. This one is wipe down. This one is wipe left. This one is wipe right. This one is wipe up. This one is wedge. And this one is uncover. So any kind of animation that you want to use, there are thousands of animations that can be used for making this presentation of yours look good. And they also carry sounds. Here is an option of inserting the sounds. For example, I insert the sound drum roll, right? And now I would click on the music. And if I tell the computer to use this one, and then I try to see the slideshow from beginning, let's. Can you see that? Now you are supposed to what next thing you are supposed to do is to what you are supposed to do is to apply to all, right? Now let's see the slideshow, which will be one of the major things that you can do after creating your presentation. Enjoying? Good. Thank you for your time and attention. I wish you a very good luck for making your presentations. I hope that you once you have gone through all the processes and all the techniques that you are supposed to do while making your presentation, now you are in a better position to make one good presentation. Here is a list of references from where all the information was collected and where all the information was being downloaded. I wish you a very good luck for making one best presentation on your own. Before I see you in the next class, take very good care of yourself. Allah Hafiz.